Hello, Millwall fans. Paul Eiffel here. It's time for Chat with Chaps.
Good morning and welcome to the post-match reaction for Chat with Chaps. I'm your host today, Joe Zampa, covering for Chris, who's still away on holiday. I'm wondering when he's going to return at this rate, I tell you, but he'll be back. Don't you worry. I'm laughing to myself because those that know. I made a mistake in the last match analysis. I actually got the scoreline wrong. It felt like a 1-0 loss. What can I say? You know, I was just testing all you lot out there. Make sure you're awake. But it wasn't. It was a 2-2 draw. It felt like a 1-0 loss, didn't it? But those in the comments who put me right, thanks very much for that. I really appreciate you letting me know. But don't worry. I've had my Cocoa Pops this morning. I'm feeling all right. I'm feeling good. And I'm feeling great, really, after yesterday's result. Having gone and watched the game live myself at Kenilworth Road. So, of course, the game finished Luton 0, Millwall 1. There's about 1,200 Millwall fans there yesterday. And I must say, what an atmosphere it was. It was absolutely brilliant, you know, and it was a fantastic occasion. Where I was sat yesterday, I had to sort of sit in a different section. So went with a friend of mine, and I had the luxury of speaking to a few of the families of the Millwall players. I spoke with Alec, who's hi Alec, who's the big brother of Mihailo Ivanovic. He was there with his best friends. Really nice guys, close knit family, as you can imagine. Really passionate about Millwall. The family are, and rightly so. And so hope to see you again, Alec. And also Therese Bangura Williams. I met with his dad, Justin, and his extended family were there. And I'll tell you what a great family. And, I didn't realize it, but his dad actually watches our show. And he sees all your comments, and he watches the lives and now and again. And he said, look, just want to send out the love to Millwall fans, send them a big hello from myself on behalf of Race, he said, and he just wants to thank you guys for the love and support and the patience and everything you're saying about Race and helping him with his development. It really, it's really appreciated and doesn't go unnoticed. So there you go. On with the game. So both teams are kind of waiting for that kind of new manager bounce. Matt Bloomfield, as we know, signed for Luton as manager, come from Wickham. I believe he was in the running as well between him and Alex Neil towards the very, very end. Obviously, we offered the position to Alex Neil, and Luton got Matt Bloomfield. There was 2 changes at the start of the game. Obviously, Kramer starts ahead of Leonard because obviously Leonard's injured, and Ivanovic starts ahead of Langstaff up front. And it's quite weird. There's no news or no sign of Langstaff. He wasn't on the bench, so he wasn't in the squad at all. So, and there's no mention whether he's at the time of recording this, the morning after, there's no mention of him being injured or what the reasons are. So, watch this space. I'm sure we'll find out in due course. I've done some pre-match stat work for you guys earlier this morning. Just done a little bit of digging, done some research, and prior to yesterday's game, I didn't realise, but despite the league position, Luton have only just lost 1 in their last 8 home games this season. So they've got quite a decent home record. Our last league win away to Luton, believe it or not, was back in October 2000. Since then, we've drawn our last 5 games. So they are a bit of a bogey side for us, especially away from home. Our away form is not the best. Again, I didn't realise it was this bad, but having sort of done some sort of digging and research in the league, Millwall haven't won away in the last 7 away league games. Our last win was, anyone know? You're right, it was Swansea in a 1-0 win in October 2024 last year. And prior to that, again, correct me if I'm wrong, in the league, but our last league win away from home after that was back in May 2024 towards the end of the season. And who was that against? Swansea. Yeah, so it's been a real sort of, a situation that needs addressing, I think, away from home at the moment, certainly. I mean, we're not getting near enough points away from home at the moment. So let's hope that after yesterday's game and under Alex Neil's stewardship, that we can hopefully try and get some wins away from home, starting again on Portsmouth on Tuesday, and keep that run going. Alex Neil, again, this is an interesting stat here. Alex Neil has never won away at Luton in his managerial career. Obviously, that's with Stoke. That would be with Norwich, and of course that would be with Sunderland. So it's interesting that stat there for you. First half was a game of very few chances, really. Nothing really sort of noted. I do feel that Millwall edged it. I think we looked the better side. I felt we seemed to sort of have a little more of a control, a bit more of a hold on the game, and sort of look the better team out of the two sides. Nothing really happened up until that 17 minutes. It was quite sad. Really. It was a forced substitution. Poor Callum Scanlon goes down. It seems like he's got a hamstring injury. I really feel for the kid because he looked so good the last game against Cardiff, and of course he even started quite brightly yesterday as well. And having been out for sort of 4 months with a back injury, the last thing you want is him to be out again. This time it seems with a hamstring injury. We don't know how severe the injury is, but it doesn't look great for him at the moment, sadly. So he gets goes off, sort of limping off, and Connolly comes in for him. Now at this point, there's a slight sort of tactical change, because where Connolly comes on and he comes in the 10, it now kind of forces Bangura Williams out on the left wing. Now, I'm pretty sure Bangura Williams could probably play in any position, but I prefer him playing in the 10. I think he's somebody who likes to make things happen. He's a creative spark for us. And also, when you're playing out in those wing positions, there's a lot of work need doing off the ball, a lot of tracking back, going with the fullback, and you kind of see them having sort of, work hard getting back rather than sort of going forward. So it was a real sort of shame, but he didn't disappoint. Bangura Williams done a really good job for us, and we will talk about him a little bit later on. So again, nothing really much happened attacking wise. On 27 minutes, wrote down here that Connolly had a chance, and this chance sort of happened from a George Saville tackle. He slides, he wins the ball, he plays the ball into Bangura Williams. Bangura Williams tries to take on Hashioka, and in doing so, he sort of tries to go past him, loses the ball. Hashioka sort of wins the ball and tries to kind of play the ball out. And what I love here is Bangura Williams' desire and determination to then run, win that ball back cleanly. Hashioka goes down, thinking he's going to get a free kick, but the referee sees it, he spots it, he wins the ball fair and square, he wins the ball really cleanly. Bangura Williams then has the ball, he turns, he runs, he then looks to his side and he sees Connolly open. So he plays this ball into Connolly, into Connolly's path. Connolly then spots Crammer making the run on the right-hand side, who I thought was excellent again yesterday, and rightly so, man of the match. We will talk about him a little bit later as well. So Crammer makes this kind of overlapping run. Connolly plays the ball out to Crammer. Connolly then makes a run into the box. And what I love to see here is that Crammer has the composure to make this run. He gets near to the 18-yard box, and rather than just sort of try and whip a ball in, hope for the best, he actually looks up and he sees Connolly pointing to where he wants it, and he plays this nice drilled low hard pass into Connolly's feet. Connolly gets the ball and takes one touch, shoots. Unfortunately, it's aimed too close to the goalkeeper. Now, at this point, the referee blows for a free kick. I couldn't quite understand what was going on in normal time, but having watched it back, the highlights this morning, I can see what happens was I think Ivanovic just sort of leans into McGuinness a little bit and knocks him over, which I think the referee spots and gives a free kick, unfortunately. So even that did go in, that would have been disallowed. Should Connolly done better? Should he have scored from there? Yeah, I guess so. But look, he hasn't played a lot of games since December, I believe. And he didn't look aesthetically match fit when he came on yesterday, but he did a lot of running, and this kid's only going to get better with games. He seems a good good signing for us, at least on yesterday's performance. I thought he looked really bright, and he made a difference when he came in. So given 2 or 3 games, I'm sure we'll see another level coming out of him. So yeah, he has that chance, and unfortunately, it's ruled out for a foul from Ivanovic. On 29 minutes, I wrote down that Morris had a header, which were over the bar from a corner, and Morris, to be fair, was a nuisance throughout. I mean, he's a good player. I remember playing against him the season before last when they went up, and even then it was a bit of a handful. But again, I thought Tanganga had him in his pocket pretty much most of the game, and so did Cooper whenever he had to deal with him. Yes, he won a few headers, but it was nothing really. He had no real clear-cut chances, in my opinion. And there was a battle there. There was a real battle, but there's one that I believe Tanganga yet again won. And I'm sure Morris will be pleased to get this game behind him yesterday, because Tangera didn't really give him an inch, did he? Unfortunately. So, but that was a good little battle there between those two. But yeah, that chance went over the bar. Then on 31 minutes, we then get a penalty, and this is amazing. Now it starts from a corner from our point of view. I think the corner gets booted out. I think we sort of play the ball back. We kind of recycle it, and the ball then gets pumped into the far left corner in Luton's half. And the ball sort of played between Saville and Coops. And at one point, I thought the ball actually goes out for a goal kick. A couple of Luton players sort of raised their hand and claiming it. And you can see the linesman from where I was sitting. The linesman was kind of trying to look, and he couldn't quite see clearly. So he couldn't flag up for a goal kick. The referee clearly didn't see it and just always play on. At this point, the ball is now played out to Connolly, who then runs into the 18-yard box, and he just drops the shoulder and sort of plays ball on the right-hand side, which he does fantastically well. And he then draws in the tackle from the Camber, who just sort of sticks a leg out. And Connolly's very cute. He obviously feels it, goes down, looks at the referee, and immediately the referee points to the spot. And it's a penalty, and what a great start that is for us. At this point, it was quite interesting that Connolly sort of picks up the ball, and you see him sort of glance around to see who's going to tell me no, and not one player sort of stops him, challenges him, says, no, that's mine, I'm not quite sure who the designated penalty taker is at the moment with the players available, but I'm hearing, someone mentioned, I think Neil Harris mentioned in the studio, that maybe Watmore is the next penalty taker, but I didn't see Watmore running anywhere near Connolly take the ball off his hand. So at this point, Connolly puts the ball down, and I believe it's the first penalty he's taken in his professional career in a league game. And obviously he could have done a lot better. It was disappointed. He'd be gutted with it himself. He strikes his penalty, and he hits it low and hard in the middle. And although Kamenetsky sort of dives to his left, his trailing legs or feet, if you look back on the replay, just catches the ball. And then on a second attempt, he sort of grabs the ball, and Kamenetsky makes a save. And at this point, you can see the Luton fans were really up in voice. The players were punching the air, congratulating Kaminsky. And at that point, I felt really sorry for Connolly. But what that showed was true character. It showed true character once again from our boys. To come back from that disappointment. To not lose their heads, to sort of stay on top, stay in the game. And I think, we still look like a really good side at that point. I think we still look to try and control the ball, and we try to kind of, sort of dust that off and kind of move forward. On 38 minutes, there was a Luton corner. Doughty wins a corner off Crammer down that left-hand side. I believe Clark takes a corner, and it's an in-swinging one. And Morris, again, jumps up, wins the header, but again over the bar, and it doesn't trouble Jensen at all. That was half time, so we're going at 0-0 again. I personally felt that we were the better side. Second half, there was no changes. On 50 minutes, I wrote down here that Connolly handballs the ball. But if you watch it, the ball was kind of hit towards his face. I think it's kind of his reaction where he kind of puts his hands up, it kind of hits his face, hits his hands, and results in a Luton free kick just inside our half, I believe. So Clark takes his free kick. The ball gets pumped up into our box. And to be fair to Morris, he jumps up and he out jumps Crammer. The ball kind of goes over Tanganga's head, Cranmer's sort of behind him. He out jumps him, wins the header. But again, the header goes over the bar. At this point, sort of Tanganga turns around. He sort of like throws his arm and has a bit of a moan at Cranmer for not winning that header. But again, it doesn't really mount to much. And it's another chance from Luton, or another half chance, but one that maybe Morris could have done better with. But I like to think it was under a bit of pressure, and that's why he couldn't get it on target. On 58 minutes, great build-up play. The ball comes out to the left-hand side to Joe Bryan. And what Joe Bryan does is he sees Ivanovic coming and showing for the ball, and he plays this lovely ball into Ivanovic's feet. And you might have heard me say this before in the last post-match analysis. Where in the past we kept hitting the ball long and trying to hit the ball up, to Bradshaw's head or Langstaff's head or Ivanovic's head, and we always say, look, we haven't got a target man to play that way. I just noticed the last sort of 2 or 3 games under Alex Neil, we are looking to play the ball into feet a lot more. It works so much better. And again, the ball plays to Ivanovic's feet. He sort of takes a touch, if you like, and sort of plays the ball to Connolly. With this, Connolly, with the instep, as a first-time pass, he sees a run from Watmore, and he plays this beautiful through ball to Watmore, who Watmore does, head down, runs into the box. He hits the ball quite early this time with his left foot, and the ball goes wide of the post. And again, didn't really mount to much. It wasn't really a shot on target, but I just like the build-up there. I like the fact that we were playing the ball on the floor. We weren't trying to pump it long and hope for the best. We're trying to sort of create something. And again, showing Connolly in that 10, I guess, you can see the quality, the vision he saw for that pass, and I believe Connolly sort of play well. I think he could play anywhere in those sort of 4 positions, whether it be as a striker or the right, the left, or in the 10. And I think he's somebody who's got that in him to kind of unlock defenses. So that was really good to see. And then of course in 61 minutes was our goal. And at this point I'm thinking like, this is incredible. So the move starts from a Cooper header. And again, as the ball comes down, it comes to Ivanovic's feet. Ivanovic takes a lovely sort of cushion sort of pass into Casper's feet, Casper de Noor. Casper then plays a ball, a forward pass into Bangura Williams. And again, just shows you this kid what he's about. He takes the ball, Bangura Williams, and he drives into the box. And at this point, he's looking for options. And he just sort of spots Ivanovic on the corner of his right eye. And he hits this beautiful pass with his left foot up over the fence into Ivanovic. And if you sort of see how he hits this pass, he just sort of gets under the ball. So what he wants is he wants to kind of get under the ball where this ball's going to be spinning backwards. So just going to fall lovely in Ivanovic's position. And Ivanovic takes an amazing sort of touch with his chest, almost kind of his chest and his sort of shoulder. He knocks the ball down, and then he, with the outside of his right foot, he hits this ball from the edge of the box, and he just curls it into the top left-hand corner. And Kaminski has no chance whatsoever in saving this shot. And of course, if you hear the sound from the away end, the rapture, it was just incredible. It was an incredible feed. And of course, he runs almost the length of the pitch with his Mitrovic celebrations, as he often does. And at this point, what can I say? That the fans were on their feet, going mad. The players were happy, and I was just so pleased for Ivanovic. You could see what that goal meant to him. His confidence sort of built even more throughout the game after that point. And suddenly, when you kind of make comparisons between Ivanovic and, say, Langstaff or whoever else we played up front, you can see the quality this kid's got. I mean, yes, he's only just turned 20 towards the end of last year, and people are saying that, is he too young? Is it too soon for him? But again, you can't deny this kid's got the technical ability. And with game time and with more minutes and more opportunities like this, he's only going to get better. He really is. And I'm so glad that he played the full game, and what a performance from Mihailo. So well done there. So one thing I want to mention as well before I forget is, again, going back to Bangura Williams, that assist. You do realise in a week and a half's worth of professional football, he's now got 1 goal and 2 assists for us, which is incredible. He's playing that role where you're asking this young kid to kind of make things happen and create things. And he does it with a real kind of mature head. We haven't seen the finished article yet. Bear in mind, Bangura Williams hasn't played much really since December because he was injured back in December when he played for the under-21. So he's just kind of building his fitness levels up, and it will come. Give it 2 or 3 games, and you will see another level with Bangura Williams. And all I say is, enjoy him while he's here, because he could be the next essay that's going to move on to a big club in the Premiership one day. And if he does go, I would not begrudge him at all, because I think this kid deserves it. But while he's here, if he's here for another season or 2, then let's enjoy it. Let's help him develop. Let's help him build himself up. He's going to do really well for us as well, and hopefully we'll do well out of it as well. If he gets a big move and we get a nice sort of bag of money for him, But let's hope we get in the Premier League first. If we get in the Premier League, we don't need to sell him then, do we? We'll be good. But I'm just really pleased with his overall sort of contribution yesterday. And again, he done 97 minutes, which is fantastic, which is going to be so good for his own sort of stamina, his fitness levels as well. So really sort of pleased for him. On 67 minutes, there was another chance. This one was an Ivanovic volley. If you remember this one, this is the one where the ball comes to Ivanovic, and again he does this amazing sort of hold up play where he kind of plays the ball out wide to Kramer, who again is bombing down the right hand side. And for a centre half, I must say Kramer is fantastic. I mean, he's so agile, he's fit. He likes getting forward. He's not afraid to kind of take a player on and try and get across him. And he does it so well. And as he hits his crossover, I think Ivanovic was probably surprised himself how much space he had on the ball, because he could have probably took a touch, brought the ball down and have a shot. But he hits it first time on the volley, probably scuffs it a little bit. But in doing so, the ball kind of bounces down. And it bounces up. And it's so hard for a goalkeeper to stop these ones. And it's actually going to the top right-hand corner. And Kaminski does so well to sort of dive across his goal and sort of tip this ball over the crossbar and keeps the score at 1-0. But again, what a great bit of skill there from Ivanovic, and what great build-up play as well with Kramer involved once again. On 71 minutes, there was no chance for Luton. It was a Clark volley edge of the box, and I thought Jensen dealt with it well. It was a real hard shot. He dived across his goal, and he just gets 2 hands, I believe, and tips out for a corner. Does fantastically well. On 79 minutes, Kramer wins a corner. This time on the far right. Sav takes the corner. It's an in-swinging one. And then Ivanovic just makes an intelligent run to the near post, and he kind of gets his head on it, gets a little flick on it. And as he headers this ball down, it just sort of falls to Kaminski's feet, if you like. He just sort of saves with his feet with his quick reaction and kind of clears the ball out. And that could have easily have gone in. We see it so many times. The ball kind of gets bounced and goes between the goalkeeper's leg. But Kaminski manages to save it and keep that ball in. On 83 minutes, we make a substitution. So George Honeyman comes on for the very tiring Watmore at this stage, because he's been doing a lot of running and up and down. And I think Honeyman does a job for us. I think with his first contribution, he absolutely sort of goes through. I think it was Hayishki, I think his name is, and absolutely sort of takes him out, gets a yellow card for it as well. And then, throughout the rest of the game, you just see Honeyman sort of running around and trying to kind of, get on the ball a little bit and try and defend and work hard for the team, of course. On 85 minutes, at this point, I believe Luton, from what I saw, was just throwing the kitchen sink forward, weren't they? They just get everyone forward, and we're kind of being pegged in our box a little bit at times. And there was a chance where the ball falls to Morris. And he has this shot, and Tanganga sort of does an amazing sort of dive and blocks this shot. And as the ball sort of ricochets, and I think Morrison has like another stab at it, the ball sort of like flows over the air, and Jensen does fantastically well to kind of like tip this rebound over for a corner. In the resulting corner, the cross comes in, and as you sort of see Jensen again, for luxury watching the replay, as he comes up for this corner and sort of lands, he does land quite awkwardly. You see his sort of knee kind of buckle or his ankle sort of give way, and he goes down, but he kind of gets back up again straight away, and he's sort of limping a little bit, and you just know at this point he's probably struggling a little bit. And unfortunately, not long after that, he's obviously in a little bit of bother. He sort of goes down on the floor. I think a couple of players were kind of hoping he might get back on his feet again and see the game out, but you can see obviously he's in a little bit of pain and kind of get stretched off. And of course, Roberts comes on for the last sort of few minutes to fill in for him. But that is it. It gets full time. Alex Neil earns his first win, and it ends Luton 0, Millwall 1 with Mihailo Ivanovic goal. And what a great performance! You can see what it meant to the fans, what it meant to Alex Neil, what it meant to the players. They're all celebrating amongst themselves, and it's just a really, really amazing feeling. It's just so good to get that win now, and that was off. I think we hadn't won in like the last 5 or 6 games. I think so. Getting that win was so important for us, and you just still see what it does to the confidence. It just really builds the confidence up, and we could go into Tuesday's game now with a bit more belief, and hopefully we can try and get a win there as well. Just put together some sort of negatives and some positives to analyse that game. So negatives, I think the number one negative, and I think you guys know exactly where I'm going to go with this one, is our injuries. I mean, Jesus, we've got so many injuries. We've got Josh Cober's been out for a while. We've got Aziz out, Imarku out, Ryan Leonard out, Danny Mack out, Mayer out, now Scanlon and Jensen. Is Langstaff injured? I don't know, possibly. And that's 9 players. That's 9 players that arguably could be playing, or at least in and around the first team at the moment. And I think, any championship side, doesn't matter who it is. It could be Leeds United. It could be, Sheffield United, anyone. If you're telling me they're going to lose 9 key players or big players for them, I'm pretty sure any other club will struggle. And for us to kind of, put this kind of threadbare squad together and try and get a team out there to go and compete and win and fight, it's remarkable. It's just, just shows you how good, how much our boys are trying, and you've got to give credit to our boys and to Alex Neil, and I think Alex Neil came out in his last interview. He mentioned about, the Millwall fans uniting with the players and not going against them, because there's been times against Hull when there's a few boo boys out there, and it doesn't help the players. I'm someone who I don't like to boo the players. If I can see an effort, if I can see that they're trying, it could be for a lack of quality sometimes, but that's out of our control. But if there's enough effort there and determination from our boys, I can see they're trying, and I can see they're up for it. You've got to back them. Because if a team are losing 1-0, you can't be on their backs. It ain't going to help them, is it? It's not going to motivate them to get better. And I think with Millwall, and our fans, when we're winning games, you can see how we are. We're right behind them, and we're noisy, and we really kind of give them that lift. But then, unfortunately, when we're behind or we're struggling, we kind of go the other way a little bit. And I think what Alex Neil was trying to say on these interviews was that we've got to unite. We've got to get behind. We've got to have a bit of positivity, and we've got to sort of be together. How often have we said it that when the Mill fans are on it, we become that 12th man for them, and the opposing team hate it. They do feel intimidated when the Mill fans are on song. So let's keep it going. Let's keep channeling that positive energy. Let's keep being vocal. Let's be noisy, especially at Portsmouth. Some positives put together. Ivanovic. I mean, for me, I thought he was fantastic yesterday. He just showed real maturity for a young lad, and I think it's about time now. And I mean this with the greatest respect, guys. We need to start putting some respect on Mihailo's name, because I hear a lot of people talking about, oh, he's not ready yet. He's too young. In his time, blah blah blah. But I think yesterday just shows you're giving him game time, you're giving him minutes, and you allow him to develop and build confidence. And there's a player there. I don't like sort of talking badly about players, but when you compare him to, say, Langstaff, I think he's a level above. And he shows that quality in the goals that he scores. I put some stats down here just to give you an idea exactly what I mean about Ivanovic and how important he is to us. He scored 4 goals this season, I believe, 3 goals in the league. He scored in a 1-1 draw against Derby, where we got a point in that game. He got the winner against Blackburn, which is 3 points, and he got the winner yesterday. So thanks to Ivanovic, he's pulled 7 points from his goals and his contribution. Now, you take those 7 points away from our league table at the moment, that actually puts us third bottom on the same points as Derby. So you can see how vitally important it is to have a goal scorer, to have a player that's going to get these goals and nick these wins for us, or nick these points if he has to. And I think it's vitally important that we kind of give him game time, let him develop, let him progress. And yes, he's going to miss chances, and I'm sure that will continue. But in time, he will be a great player for us, but he's only going to get better with game time. And I think he's good enough for the Championship. You know, I heard people say, oh, we should be loaned out to a League One team. No, I think he's too good for League One. I think he needs to be playing constantly at the moment. And I think with the players coming back, the players we spoke about, like Aziz and Marku and a few other players, these kind of attacking options around him, I think we will see him get even better, because of course these guys are going to create more and more chances for him. So that's my bit on Ivanovic. My other positive I want to mention was Race Bangura Williams. Again, I know I keep going about this kid, but I was talking about this kid a long time ago. He was playing for the under-21s. So I'm sure the guys on Twitter and Instagram were probably thinking, who the hell's Race Bangura Williams and why you keep going about him, Joe? But I saw enough about him in the under-21s. I just knew this kid was quality, and I love his story. You know, again, he comes from good spots, got a great family that's like love him, support him. And he's one for the future. He really is. And again, you know, 1 goal, 2 assists in a very short period of time for us. And yeah, with players coming back and you know, people come back from injuries, whatever. I just really hope that Alex Neil sticks with Bangura Williams and keeps him in that team, because you know, since Rom SA left, I still love watching SA, and I'm sure you guys would agree with me. You know, he used to give me that kind of thrill. I used to watch him and see little tricks and skills he used to do. And with respect to a lot of the players in our team, that no one's really like SA, but I think Bangura Williams has got that style of football where he likes to play football the right way, you know, and he likes creating things and doing things. I just love watching him play. So let's hope that he'll keep keeping the team for the foreseeable future. And who knows what happens. But again, he hasn't played much since December because he was injured for the under-21s. So he's getting his fitness levels up. And yes, they're getting 97 minutes for Bangura Williams would have done him the world of good. You know, you saw him against, I think it was the whole game. Or was it the Cardigan where he kind of goes off with cramp, you know, and yes, he looked a lot stronger. And give him another sort of 2 or 3 games, we're going to see another level come out of Bangura Williams. It's quite frightening to see what this kid's going to do when he gets to his kind of peak condition, if you like, you know. Another positive was Kramer. I thought he was fantastic. I liked him for the minute he came on for Leonard in the last game when he sort of filled it right back for us. Yesterday again, he looked great. I mean, you know, he's a tall centre half, and he's looking so good at right back. I mean, can you imagine what he'll be like at centre back? You know, yeah, God forbid if Tanganga leaves, and it looks like, look, yeah, he might go. Maybe he might leave in the summer. I hope it ain't going to be in this window. But if he does go, yeah, I think we've got a really good replacement in Kramer. And the fact he can fit it right back for us as well at the moment is fantastic. And I just really do like what I'm seeing. Another positive was our back four. Again, including Kramer. You've got Kramer, Tanganga, Coops, and Joe Bryan. Yes, I'm saying it, Joe Bryan. Credit Joe Bryan. I think a lot of fans have been on his back for a very long time, me included. I think, you know, he's a talented player. You can see technically he's a very good player, but sometimes we sort of moan a little bit about his kind of lapse of concentration defensively, you know, and whatnot. But I must say, in these last sort of 2 games, I've seen a different Joe Bryan. I don't know whether you guys agree with me. It'd be interesting to get your comments in the chat as well. But I just seen, you know, him a lot more focused defensively. I think he's kind of thrown his body online a little bit more now, and I think his positioning is a lot better. His aggression's good. He's almost kind of like thinking more defensively rather than attacking wise at the moment, which is fine. You know, we want to see him get forward, of course. We want to see him overlapping, getting crosses in. But I think he realizes that firstly and foremost, his position is a defender, and he has to defend. And I think these last 2 games, I've been so impressed with him. And I think him, along with the others in that back four, including Jensen Gar, I think it's been fantastic. Obviously, it's sad to see Jensen out injured, but from what I saw with Roberts in pre-season, I think we've got a really good replacement. I don't know how long Jensen's going to be out for, but luckily for us, we've got a really decent backup keeper with Roberts, who's really good with his kicking as well. So it'd be interesting to see how he plays, I'm sure, against Portsmouth on Tuesday night. Other positives is we're up to 16th place in the table at the moment. We're 7 points above Derby, who are in the bottom 3 of the relegation zone, and we're 10 points behind Borough, who sit 6th in the playoff spot with a game in hand as well. So we get a win on Tuesday against Portsmouth. We're only 7 points behind the playoff spot, and who knows? We've got a long way to go still, with lots of games to play. So I believe that the Pompey on Tuesday is another sellout away for the away fans for us lot. So hopefully we'll be vocal. hopefully we'll get behind the boys. And like I said, to Alex Neil's point, let's unite. Let's get together. Let's have this positivity. Let's get behind the boys. Let's get another win. Let's hope that Portsmouth have enough 50 pences to put in their meter to keep the lights going this time. And that's it all for me. Hope you had a great weekend. Have a great start to the week. Let's get behind the boys on Tuesday. Let's get another 3 points, and let's start moving up the table. Thanks a lot, guys. That's all from me, and bye for now.